me with the president of Lebanon.
Of course. Oh,
as one, as not the president of Lebanon.
Oh.
The president of Lebanese.
All right. I'll be done in 10 minutes. This is my last one.
I'm going to go to my room before somebody else grabs me to do something.
Okay. I'll text you.
Text me.
Oh, we're live. That's how we do this thing. We're having side conversations. That's how I'll text you. I'll text you. We'll talk later. Growth doesn't have to mean chaos. Our next guest has spent years helping practice owners get back to basics, building better connections, simpler systems, and healthier businesses. More is actually not better. Sometimes less can be better. Live again from Anaheim. Welcome back to the show, Sturdy McKee. Welcome back.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Where do we overcomplicate things? Let's start there. Practice owners.
The first thing I want to talk about is I want to call bullshit on social media marketing.
Okay, good.
Okay, because right now PTs, and this has been happening for probably a decade, right? PTs have been sold a bill of goods by these marketing people, many of whom are PTs, who are charging them exorbitant amounts of money to advertise on Facebook, Google, all these, things they can charge on basically on a monthly basis to manage
recurring
their
revenue.
ads. And people don't buy healthcare on Facebook. It's just, so there's this whole process of trying to build trust and whatever. And what I've been working with clients lately, a number of them, go back to where the patients are. And, if we're going to focus on musculoskeletal, and the same thing's true, by the way, if we do peds or neuro or you name it, right?
Right.
But musculoskeletal, half the people with a musculoskeletal issue go to their primary care doc first. So, if you kind of break it down a little bit, average primary care doc sees 70 to 100 visits a week.
Sure.
20 to 40% of those statistically are musculoskeletal. What's their training with MSK?
Lacking.
Yeah. I mean, they got two tools, right? They got pills and they got surgeons. And the pills, we all know what happened with that, right? And then with the surgeons, right, people are waiting 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, months, literally, to get in, only to then be sent to PT.
Right.
And we've known this for years and years, right? The Virginia Mason study was long ago and showed that if we change the clinical pathway, it saves money, it gets people better faster, it benefits everybody. But we've gotten away from this because of kind of the marketing. And by the way, I didn't even say this, but those same marketing people are telling practice owners to spend, 5 to 10% of their revenue on marketing. And that's insane. That's half their profit margin, right? And it's all gone to do what? And very, very few people are tracking how many patients.
Right. You brought this up before.
It's kind of crazy though. So, the big thing is there's hidden patient volume in primary care. They're sitting in the waiting room down the street from you, and the algorithm you've got to figure out. It's not Instagrams. It's how to work that
relationship.
Whole relationship.
A relationship algorithm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what it should be.
And the good ones are, I've talked to a few people that are like here at CSM, right? Who are like, yeah, we don't like to market to doctors and stuff. Like, what's your most powerful marketing channel? Like for any practice owner or any business, right? We're sitting in the USPH booth. Any business, it's word of mouth. Okay, so how many people does your current patient sitting in front of you know that could use your help this week? 1, 2,
20.
Really? They know 20 they could tell?
Oh, could they tell? No. Should they?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, but that doctor is,
sure,
right? They're there asking for help. They're going to them for help, and they're not getting the help they need. And it's costing a ton of money in the system. It's, again, it's a treasure trove of patients who are not happy, right? Because if I got to wait 3 months to see the orthopedic surgeon, only be told I'm not a surgical candidate and I'm going to go to PT, then you're sitting there going, well, why didn't they tell me that in the first place?
This is a relationship game. It's people on one side, people on the other side. I mean, I don't want to oversimplify it, but
it's not that complicated,
right.
And when people talk about the physician marketing, it's
so don't market to physicians, but build a relationship.
Exactly.
If you treat it like marketing, it's going to feel like marketing. It's going to taste like marketing. It's going to smell like marketing. Right. These are not stupid people. And even when we're not standing in an expo hall filled with a bajillion booths, you're still exposed to hundreds or thousands of marketing messages a day. We're trained to ignore those things.
Right.
So the bar isn't low. The bar is on the floor in terms of doing something differently.
Right.
When the world goes digital and advanced and AI, go the other way. Go handwritten note. Chad Madden said this. He goes, "You're not going to like my first 3 answers of what to do to improve your marketing. It's going to be handwritten notes at the end of every day. It's going to be calling your patients from 6 months ago and honestly asking, how you doing?
Right.
Like, it's not sexy.
Right. But we're not doing the same thing with the doctors, right? And the
Correct.
handwritten note is super important, and I'm a big advocate of that. And think about this. When's the last time you got a handwritten thank you note?
I do not know.
When do you think the last time that doctor got a handwritten thank you note from another provider?
Or when did you get a Panera lunch shipped in that they're like, I see what this is, and you telegraph that this is, you're trying to buy me. And no offense, man, I'm worth more than a few Panera, paninis.
It's so much more. I mean, what the primary care docs in particular are looking for is happy patients.
Correct.
Right. Because the people are in pain, they're complaining, they got to wait, they're calling, they're coming back, I'm not better yet. It's just a constant drain and emotional suck, on their day. Versus you do a great job with your patients, you go back, the patient goes back and tells the primary care, they wonderful.
Solved my problem.
Right.
And you're like, great, now I've gotten this person, I am a resource.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, if they're seeing like 20 people or so a week that could be using your help, why can't they send you 2?
Correct. So what does the back to basics approach look like?
Well, it's just what you said. It's just developing relationships. And that, there's a lot of more upfront work in the beginning with that. But I had somebody reach out and say, what do you do for your wow baskets? And I'm like, I don't do a wow basket. That's kind of like love bombing somebody or taking them on a helicopter ride for the first date. It's
creepy.
What do you do after that?
Red flag. Yeah. What do you do after that? Right.
Yeah. So no, I told her I would take whatever you have in your wow basket and I would divide every one of those things up and drop them off one a month. One little thing. The research even shows with relationships, it shows this in the workplace, it shows it multiple places, but small tokens, small effort, consideration, that's what builds relationships.
Yeah.
Make it specific. I love this one. The more specific, the more terrific, right? Make it specific to them. Listen to them. This is why you want to keep track of these relationships. You want to write down, their spouse's name. If you can find out in conversation their anniversary, you write it down.
Don't force it though.
No.
Make it real.
But if it happens, write it down because that serves as your long-term memory.
Right.
And then their kids, do their kids like well, here, Dave Kittle, right? He's a client of mine. I had, because Dave's a big Phillies fan, right? I had queued up before Christmas a glove, a ball, and a hat for his little baby.
Because you just had a baby.
Right. And Davey's like 18 months old or something, right? And I'm going to send him Phillies baseball stuff. I found out in order to get his kid named Davey, he had to agree that he was allowed to be a Mets fan, not a Phillies fan.
Oh, man.
But I was about to click go,
and you changed
and
it.
I would have sent him Phillies stuff. And just by saying, hey, does Davey like Davey? I know Davey likes baseball. You love baseball. Is he a Phillies fan? He's like, no. And he tells me the whole story. And I'm like, ooh, okay.
Pivot.
So he got Mets stuff. But I remember that now, right? And then, he's happy. And again, we're talking about small tokens. That wasn't an expensive gift.
Can I tell you one that
specific?
Can I tell you one that works pretty well because it's real? Yeah. Did a little bit of research on a potential client that I was trying to get to build a relationship and saw that they shared a particular charity. Mm-hmm. So I was like, hey, I just want you to know I made a $50 donation in your name.
It's huge.
And because $50 isn't enough to be, it just feels transactional.
Right.
But I did this thing and there's for it to be a gift, there has to be no expectation of return. Right. We forget that. Well, I bought you a basket. When are you going to send me patience? Yeah, that's no longer a gift because there's an expectation. So, hey, listen, right. I saw that charity is meaningful to you. I made a $50 donation because you know what? They all deserve the money. And I just wanted to let you know that I saw you. And I saw that was important to you.
Well, and that meant something. That's an emotional, impact, again, for not a huge lift to do that kind of thing. And those things, that's the beauty of the relationship, right? To get it started, it's one thing. But then to keep it going, you just have to keep being interested. You have to keep being curious. You have to keep asking questions, learn about them, and then do little things that, reinforce that let them, like you just said, I see you. They've been seen. Show, not tell. Yeah.
I'm really interested in you is a weird way to say it, and it's transactional. But hey, I really appreciate you did that thing, and that's. I was giving a talk to students a couple of weeks ago, and they said, "How can we be seen as an authority?" And I said, "Do you want to know how to look interesting? Be interested." Like honestly, though,
right?
Because people can tell when it's a fake question or you're doing it for a transaction. Nobody taught us how to smell out fake, but we can. We just
We're
can.
Wired for it.
We're wired for it. Because again,
if I'm just trying to close, this is all the salespeople, right? If I'm just trying to close a deal, it feels way different from, can I help you solve a problem? No big deal if it's not the right time. It's a totally different vibe. Right. So, but yeah, in order to do that, though, we got to track it. And I mean, that's kind of the other thing. Haven't even shown you that, but I built that.
What is this?
Sixer HQ.
Okay.
So it's just relationship tracking, referral relationship management, right? I'm kind of focusing in on ortho initially, just because we know that's where the patients are, and it's simple. But it's not. It's like a CRM, but without all the sales pipeline stages rest. It's kind of after the close, if you will, except that there's no close, right?
Because the relationship shouldn't have a
right. Doesn't have a close date.
Right.
Doesn't even really have like, oh, we're now. You're not getting engaged to the doctor. It's not a monogamous kind of romantic relationship or anything like that, right? You're not, right. You're just like, but you're connecting and you're helping each other, and you truly are. And I love this too. I've had. Back when I was running the practice, we're sitting at happy hour with 5 surgeons and a couple fellows and stuff, and they're like, "Sturdy, how do you do marketing?" I'm like,
well, I'm here with 6 of you or
just
7.
Invited me to happy hour.
Correct. Ta-da!
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah, and here's my little daughter, and everybody's talking, and it feels more natural, and it is.
So who's this for, and what do they gain from it?
Oh, so it's for practice owners. It's really any practice. We can go bigger too, but who relies on referrals or wants to,
and they want to do it better.
Yeah, and they want to make sure they're not dropping the ball. They want to have. I talked to somebody who has 22 clinics, 3 regional marketing people, and he's founder and CEO, and he doesn't know what they're doing on a daily basis. I'm like, well, this gives you transparency into the activity, and they told you they went there, but did they? Just trust and verify all that. So there's the visibility, there's the continuity. But yeah, and really it's for any specialist. It could be orthodox, it could be pain management, it could be anybody who relies on referrals. And that brings up another one, like back to that whole social media thing. The same people I was talking to is like, I asked, do you rely on referrals? Like, well, yeah, about 90%, but I know we shouldn't. I'm like, why not? Right, back to the word of mouth. Why not? No, now shouldn't be 90% with one doctor. Right. But if you have a big, broad panel of physicians all over that are sending you people. You got it.
Right. A network of people you have relationships that you are a solution for.
Right. Then it's more complicated. You got to keep track of more stuff. You got to keep up with it. Yeah. You don't want all your eggs in one basket. At the same time, having a broad referral network, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I think we've gotten away from that over the past decade or so of being guilted into doing all this direct-to-consumer
when the world goes digital. You can go into an arms race of I'm going to outspend. That's a race not to the top, but to the bottom. When the world goes digital, go to analog. Listen, kids, at one point, bell bottoms were the coolest thing in the world, and then they weren't, and then they were again, and then they weren't again. And you know what? In a couple of years, my money's on bell bottoms showing up. Maybe not as big as the 60s, but they'll come back.
Right. So use technology for the right things, right?
Sure.
Staying up to speed and stuff. But then, dude, handwritten notes. Even here's another one for everybody out there. If you're sending a report to a doctor or to anybody, write one handwritten sentence on it, right? Because we are like just psychologically, we're programmed. If I had hit something handwritten on here, you would read it first.
Right. This was added after the fact. Someone wrote on a printed document. This is the important thing.
Right.
The brain craves novelty. Right. If I see something 50 times, I'm going to start to ignore it.
You get all these reports all the time, whatever.
Yeah, got it.
If it has like, hey, thanks for the referral, she's going to do great, Jimmy, they're going to read it.
Yeah.
They can't not read it. Like they're compelled to read it.
Why is this difficult for people in healthcare? Is it because we are very formulaic? And if you tell us this is how it's done, do this, do A plus B, we get C, and humans are messy and that's harder?
That's a great question. I think so much of it does have to do with we're good at the things we're good at.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's a classic E-Myth business owner story, right? I'm really good at plumbing. I don't like talking to customers. Well, when you opened your plumbing business, you had to, you signed up to talk to customers, right? You signed up to manage people. You signed up. So when you open your clinic and stuff, you became a marketer, whether you wanted to or not, whether you were aware of it or not.
Yep.
But
Brother Basil, I went to a Catholic university for college, and he stood up in the first day of public relations, and he said, "What's public relations? You're in a public relations class.
Right.
We're going to define it. What's public relations?" And I was smart enough to know he's a brother, so he's wearing the robe and the rope around, and I'm like, this is a trap. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut because this is going to be a stunningly simple answer, not a But people were trying to, it's spin and story control, and I'm like, this is a trap, but keep your mouth shut. And once everybody ran out of air, he was like, public relations is building a relationship with the public. Answers in the question. It's building a relationship with the public.
Right.
And he said, the other sentiment was, you're either doing public relations well or poorly. There's no not doing it. Not doing it is doing it poorly. Like the muscle is atrophying.
Correct.
or strengthening, but it's never just sort of staying the same. It's in one direction or not, and what people know about you. I love those, like the how's my driving,
Right.
and then people will take pictures of that. I'm like, that's public relations, man. If your guy is out there acting like a jackass, he's doing public relations for you on the road in your van. It ain't good. It's anti-public. It's a bad public relations, but it is PR.
Right. No, you're dead on.
What's something someone who's a practice owner is probably overlooking right now that they could do tomorrow without spending $1 that will help them do all the things we're talking about?
Well, again, write a little thank you on the report that you're printing and sending anyway. If you want to spend $1, write on a thank you card, right? Just a fold card and stick it in an envelope and mail it. But send a thank you to somebody. You know, and that's not a bad practice for any business owner to sit down every week, every month, and just think, who do I owe a thanks to? Because one of the things that I ran into early on, somebody asked me, out to lunch, and she wanted to ask about, starting a business and all this. And I told her, one of the things I learned in the first few years was, ironically, never more dependent upon more people over whom you have no control than when you start a business.
Yeah.
And, you're dependent on the landlord and the supplier and the employees and the customers and the bank and all these dependencies. And basically the part of this is somebody did something nice for you this week. Have you told them?
Say thank you.
Yeah. It's that simple. And it's super easy to forget, right? You're mired down, you're busy, you're stressed out. It's super easy to forget, but that 2-5 minutes
leaves a mark.
And it's huge. Again, back to what, when's the last, or call them and say, when's the last time somebody called and just said, hey, just want to reach out and say thanks.
Yeah.
That was really helpful. And
then the funny part is they're almost waiting for the sale.
Right.
And when you don't give it, that's huge. When you're like, no, that's it. That was awesome, and I appreciate it. And I wanted you to know that, and I didn't have a chance to say it when it happened, but thank you.
Yeah.
And it's a pattern interrupt, what we call. It doesn't happen every day, so by doing it and taking 45 seconds to do it, it carries weight as it should. Again, make sure it's real though.
Absolutely, you can't fake it. Right. When if you fake a relationship, it's going to blow up.
Yes, eventually will come to light. Last question I'll ask: What gets lost when growth becomes the only goal? If I need to get bigger, growing, what gets lost? What do you lose along the way?
I think it's a super simple answer, and it's our humanity. We get so caught up in the data, the numbers, the push, the whatever, trying to make payroll, trying to keep all the balls in the air, and we just forget that we're dealing with other people. And, it's really easy to look at numbers and say, well, they're not performing, they're not doing it, and start to get angry and blame and all that without just saying, hey, I noticed things aren't going so well. How's it going? Yep. What can I do to help? Yeah.
All right. We have Tristan on the show. You've done it before. We call it. Is there anything else we wanted to hit to?
No, I've got my parting shot.
All right, here it is.
Ready.
The parting.
This is the parting shot. One last mic drop moment. No pressure. Just your legacy on the line.
Parting shot. Sturdy McKee, what do you got?
All right. So Thomas Edison said, the doctor of the future will give no medication, but will interest his patients in the care of the human frame, diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease. And dude, that's physical therapists.
Yeah, we're here. Here we are.
Right here. 15,000 of us.
Sturdy, where do you want people to go if they want to look you up?
Oh, you can Sixer HQ or Sturdy Coaching, or you can. I'm not hard to find on LinkedIn or anywhere. Sturdy McKee.
Love it. Well, right. I'm not hard to find in a red bow tie. Thanks for coming on live here at CSM.
Thank you.